Ready when you are.
The moustache. The moustache is the big difference. It's another story, I suppose. The exciting thing about doing it with you is that I suppose we just sat down and said, oh, we're making a little film here, what should we do? And obviously, you know, it's another story and another setting and another character, and so from that point of view it's completely different, but working together and enjoying it and just getting a job done is the same.
Well, I like working with Jude, and we've got a shorthand now, and funny enough I don't really look at it as work. We had a rough plan that the creatives from Dior had come up with, but they were very encouraging for us to come up with what Jude and I were wanted. If I start a sentence, Jude finishes it for me, because I know he's got the attitude of what it is that I'm trying to convey, and I think that's it's a cultural shared knowledge. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, we've done whatever we wanted, and we hope that we created a kind of interesting, a more interesting film than what traditionally has been portrayed in perfume ads, which is a treacherous territory in the creative department. But we've really enjoyed doing it, and it's been very organic, the creative process as we've gone along. But you know, it's fun working with your mates, and you know, I hope Jude and I go on to do many things together.
You know, preparation, I suppose, is everything in film, and there's an amazing team of people here that have created a world and a sense and a storyline and settings, but then they wanted us to kind of inject it, I'm guessing, or they've at least allowed us to inject it with a spirit. So the storyboards were, from my experience of what I've seen and what we've now made, they were a very rough idea of a linear story, and we've kind of then gone to that and made it personal and made it our own and filled in the colours, if you like.
But listen, you know, they wanted something elegant, and what we're trying to do is give them something that's edgy and elegant.
I mean, I'll tell you what did come up, what seemed to flower during the day, was this idea of this guy who, you know, scent is a very interesting thing, and if you're trying to merchandise scent, then you're especially to men, you're trying to say, but I mean, without doing, you're trying to say, you know, this will make you more masculine, or this will make you attractive. Let's be honest, do you know what I mean? And so there was an element to this that we wanted it, you know, the presence of a woman to be exciting to this guy and his life. Do you know what I mean? That she's there, is she not there? Who's in control? Does she come in? Does she go out?
Why is he attractive without being traditionally attractive? What we didn't want was a cliche, and I hope what we haven't come up with is a cliche. And I think what we both agreed with is traditionally the idea of a spoilt, good-looking man who lives in a penthouse is not necessarily a man that I aspire to be, or Jude. So we wanted to conjure up some kind of a personality that we both found interesting.
We didn't want something conceited, we didn't want something high-end so that the everyman would see it and kind of go, oh, you know, I'll never be that. We wanted something that kind of, a man that mixes in all the worlds. So
yeah,
that,
kind
you know,
of street sophistication.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we didn't want is we didn't want someone
elitist,
that was...
right? Elitist,
yeah, what we didn't want is someone that was spoilt and rich. We've tried to integrate a sense of that within the spot, actually. Yeah. You'll have to wait and see.
It's the most visually stunning city in the world.
The nice part of the city looks like a film set, doesn't it?
I tell you what, you just come, you step out of the door here and take a photograph, and you can't help but be...
No, it's absurd.
Inspired with the Parisian effect. One shot yesterday, first shot up, one of the first shots up, looking out over the Eiffel Tower, which is such an iconic view. But there was a still, or it looked like a still, and it looked so familiar, and yet I know I've not seen it used or shot in that way before.
It was a good shot. That was a happy accident. Occasionally, you know, if you shoot as much film as I do, you have happy accidents.
I'm really excited.
Oh,
I've enjoyed the whole thing. This is going to be a great night. We get the sun to go down. I get to drive a little
We'd be
sports
really
car
lucky,
all night.
Haven't we? Until we've actually put it in the oven and the cake has risen, I'm not quite sure what we come up with. But I tell you what,
it's going to taste good.
It will taste interesting. it should have a unique flavour to it. It should feel different, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
It should feel different from anything that you've seen in this genre before.